Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We got a baller episode today for you, kicking it off with some housekeeping because I have been busy, all right? I have been hard at work on ACNH hard mode. If you loved when I did Animal Crossing way back in the day, then maybe check out ACNH hard mode, doing it with Nintendo's crazy rules. It's very creepy, difficult, daunting, but I did get amazing starting villagers, so check that video out. It went up yesterday. And also Nintendo All-Stars is my new weekly series where we cover what everybody else is doing, which sounds a little goofy, but I think it's great and it gives me a chance to react to all of that nonsense. But today in GMM, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're talking about the biggest news in the Nintendo sphere, and we're kicking it off with how this system just won't quit. I heard so many people saying late last year, the Switch is cracking, the Switch is falling, the Switch is old, and I say to you, wachow! Check out this new sales figure release from Japan. The Switch OLED absolutely crushed it. It dominated, including the Switch sales, the Switch Lite sales, and the Switch OLED. It's nearly 250,000 units in a week, and we don't have to worry about this system slowing down, and it's in Nintendo's best interest to continue to put out big, beefy games to support the crazy player base that only continues to grow. Diminishing returns? I don't know. These numbers say otherwise, and what's out right now? Nothing new. Pokemon's been out for a long time. Fire Emblem Engage is still a week away. Can't wait for that game. I've been diving back into Hollow Knight. Started a new playthrough. It's amazing. I can't play any new games because I'm addicted to Hollow Knight again. Phenomenal game if you haven't. It's on sale on the eShop. It's on sale, I think, on Steam as well. Just it's Bug's Life, but Metroid, so it's really fantastic. And Pokemon is doing fantastic as well. I think more fantastic than you or I would have expected, given all the negative buzz around the performance. Now, Pokemon is a phenomenal game. Scarlet and Violet, I think, are absolutely top tier, and once you get to the end, try and argue otherwise, because it has like the best ending Pokemon's ever had. And I think the final area is one of the Switch's absolute best moments, bar none. And now we have some backup for this rah-rah championing of the newest Pokemon, because in Japan, Scarlet and Violet sales have already surpassed Pokemon Sword and Shield in 8 weeks. 8 weeks of Scarlet and Violet just usurped 3 years of Sword and Shield, and that is the kind of love and karma that I like to see. When you make a game great, it's gonna do well. It gives me chills. I'm a big fan of fun stuff working. And this bodes really well for the future of Pokemon, because now, no matter what nobody said about the glitches and the lag and the issues, which are there, money talks. Now, sometimes that's not a good thing, but in this case, I think it's a great thing, because Scarlet and Violet is open world. It's the best mainline Pokemon I've ever played, and I enjoy it, and I was really getting a bit teensy tiny worried that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company would say, all the negative feedback, go back to linear, and I don't want them to do that. I want them to continue pushing the scope and the limits of Pokemon. I think that's when they're at their best, being risk takers. They're rarely risk takers in the Pokemon universe, but they were this year, and it yielded two of the most exciting, incredible, and addictive Pokemon games in a very long time. So bravo, 8 weeks of sales, 2 months, just totally beat down 36 months of Sword and Shield. I don't know if that's more of a slight to Sword and Shield and an indictment of what kind of release those were, or just boom shakalaka to Scarlet and Violet. But we are only going to make that game better, because we now know, thanks to Cerebi, that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will be getting updated to version 1.2 next month. They say in late February we'll have more bug fixes and added functionality. Now, we don't know what the added functionality will be. They have yet to announce any sort of major DLC, although I expect that to come at the upcoming Nintendo Direct. People are kind of going gaga already for February, and this patch would fit in nicely with a little new trailer in February at the Direct to announce kind of the upcoming year plan for Scarlet and Violet. I don't think the February patch will have big new content, but I could see it including some new quests. Like, there's a lot they could do. They could do a new Titan Pokemon. They could bring in a new Team Star boss. There's so much they can do, and I hope they really ruffle their feathers and get excited, get creative, and get jamming this game with more content, because I would love to go back and play more. But rest assured, they are going to be fixing some bugs and hopefully improving performance to continue building this game to be what it always could be, and maybe just struggled to be at launch, which is perfection. I know it's not there, but hopefully this late February patch will provide those changes, and I do expect to hear about DLC sooner rather than later. If you look back to the past with Sword and Shield and kind of just the precedent set, it's about time to announce the DLC, and we're ready for it. Juicy, all sorts of juicy rumors have just been oozing all over me lately, and this is a good one. It comes from a Twitter account that is a rumor account for Xbox, Bethesda, Activision Blizzard. Now, this is getting some pull and popularity, but I don't know much about this account. It's at EXTAS1STV. I'm not very familiar, so I'm going to just put that out first that, I'm not familiar with this rumor rat. But they are talking a scoop about GoldenEye releasing by the end of January. Now, this is very interesting because we've talked a lot on the channel about where the heck is James Bond. He's busy changing skin from Pierce Brosnan to Daniel Craig to whoever's next. This game should have probably been out last year. Now, there's some scuttlebutt that perhaps they did not want to drop it due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Makes sense. We've seen that happen to Advance Wars multiple times. But now with Xbox having a developer showcase on January 25th and GoldenEye 007 releasing on both Xbox Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, it seems like the perfect time. Microsoft could take the lead and drop a new trailer for this game, announcing its launch shortly after the developer direct and bringing it to both platforms, because we do fully expect it to release on both. Now, that is a very short window of announcement to release, but this game is free on Game Pass and free on the N64 Online, so it's not like you need to get pre-orders. It's not like you need to really worry about physical versions or anything of that sort. I think this thing does happen, and we haven't really had an N64 game in quite a while for Nintendo. They've been really good about giving us the heads up for what game is coming in the subsequent month. They have not done that for quite some time, and maybe it's because they've got a crystal jewel that they're waiting to drop on us, and it bleeds Bond red. So look for GoldenEye coming later this month. I think that would be a nice, nifty way to start off the year. Fire Emblem Engage is next week already. Like, we're already booming through January. Time just flies. And before you know it, it's going to be Kirby in February, the Direct, and then today is like 4 months until Tears of the Kingdom. So it cannot happen quick enough, but it will. Like, those next 120 days will fly by, and before you know it, we'll find out if we've got a new console. We'll be playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and we'll definitely be playing GoldenEye. So I like this rumor. I don't really, like I said, know much about the source, but it makes so much sense, and I feel like we could be getting this, within the next 2 weeks, undoubtedly. Now, I'm going to talk about this more in another video, my Nintendo All-Stars video, which I'd love for you to check out, but I did want to just briefly address here on GMM. People have been nagging on the Direct speculation and Direct hype, and I think the Direct speculation and Direct hype is one of the best things about Nintendo community. I think it's like one of the things that keeps us so excited, so engaged, and so razzed up. And yeah, there's like a billion forum posts that don't really need to happen, and crazy predictions and dumb screenshots that never pan out, but I kind of love that, and we don't see that level of intensity from any other publisher. Maybe it's a bad thing to some people, like, oh, just shut up and wait and be grateful. I don't really view it that way. I don't view this as like annoying. I just view it as excited and ready to go. And we're so looking forward to Nintendo's release, primarily because every time they do one, it is awesome in some way or another. Something from it is usually really great. That can't be said for any other show, and it can't be said that any other company has the track record Nintendo has, that when they announce something, we're ready to go for it. Like, Sony first party is definitely in that sphere as well, but Nintendo is the kings of it, and they have been for quite some time. So if you're excited for the Direct, if you see people hyping the Direct, I say more power to them. Let's get excited. We know Nintendo's gonna have a show, and just like waiting around and being bored and it'll happen when it happens, like, that's a fine way to go. If you want to look at it that way, behave that way, think that way, more power to you. But if you want to get excited, you want to predict, you want to plan, you want to guess, you want to look at rumors, you want to be just in it, I think there's no better place to be, and no other company, no other gaming publisher can claim that their fan base is as invested, as hyped, and as excited. And look, life can be dull, jobs can be boring, day by day can get a little bit long in the tooth. So if you want to hype something up and have fun, like, that's a great ticket to positivity in my eyes. I always earmark and flag the calendar, the dates, the days, the hours for things that are exciting. Every night, Marvel Snap updates the variant shop at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I'm here for it. Big deal? Not really, but I get excited every day, and I count down the minutes till 8 o'clock because it brings me joy. So if it brings you joy to get excited about Directs, go make a million forum posts. I don't care. I like it. I love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, my wonderful people, thanks a lot. SwitchForce out.